Hello everyone, this is Jonathan Colson with JohnnyJoomla.com, and this is the second video in this series, How to Build a Professional Website or Blog using Joomla. In our last video we went over how to get started with hosting, how to install Joomla, and the basics of the Joomla backend. So if you haven't already watched that, go ahead and do that. In this video you're going to be able to look over my shoulder as I build an entire website. So specifically, we're going to install and configure a template, configure a drop-down menu, going to create a Contact Us page, an About Us page, and then we're going to go ahead and make some custom modules, including a logo module, some social icons, a login module, a search box, and a couple other custom modules. So let's get this going. First, we're going to install a template. I've opened 3 tabs already: the home page for the website we installed in the last video, the back end of the website, as well as utheme.com. Utheme.com designs templates for Joomla, and they're pretty clean and good looking, so we're going to use one of their templates. So I'm going to log into Utheme. I already have a paid membership with them, and I'm going to go to their theme section and find a good theme we can download and install on our website. Go to downloads there. And actually I'm going to go with the lava theme here. Click on that. Download the latest Joomla 3.1 version. And once that is downloaded, we're going to go ahead and take that file. We're going to install that on Joomla. So now all we have to do is go to our Joomla backend, go to extensions, and we're going to go to the extension manager. And here's where we're going to install the template. You can install modules and templates and all kinds of things right from the extension manager here. So I'm going to choose File, look on the desktop here, ulava, open, and install that. In just a moment that's going to be done. And after that's done, we're going to go ahead and configure what the template looks like. Right, now that we've installed the lava theme, go to Extensions, Template Manager, and this is where we can edit the lava template and actually activate it. So let's go ahead and click this to default that template. And if you look at the front page now, and I reload this page, you're going to see a very basic of what this template looks like from the front end. So before we customize our template, we're actually going to add some content to the front end of Joomla. And we're going to do this because if you actually have some content on your Joomla website first, when you customize your template, you can then see what it looks like. So as you can see, I've already opened up a demo template for the template we're working with, the lava theme. If you go down, you can actually see the names of the module positions that they've created on this website, but they actually give a detailed explanation here. So you can see what all the modules are called. And that will help us when we're laying out our modules for our website. So let's go back to our page here. So we're going to start by creating a menu like we see in the demo template here. And we can add some drop downs later if we want to. As you can see, that's located in the menu position. So if we go to the Joomla backend, there's actually 2 parts to displaying a menu. First, you actually have to create the menu. And so to do that, you go to your menus manager here. And as you can see, there's already a main menu that is pre-installed when you install Joomla. If you go to that, they also have the home link already created. And so this menu is already created. So if we go to Extensions Manager and Module Manager, you can actually see that the main menu is already created as well. So that's something else that they do for you. As of right now, because the Utheme template doesn't have a position 7, it actually isn't showing this module called the main menu. So we're going to go ahead and change that name to menu. Oops. As you can see, it says ulava menu, and that is the position that will show at the top for the menu here. So I'm going to go ahead and save and close that since that is already configured. And we're going to reload this, and you're going to see the menu pop up. There it is. So just to better explain what we did here, if we go to the back end, and you look up here, you can see the name of this type of module that we just displayed is called a module menu. Every time you create a new module, it'll ask you what type of module you want to make. And so when you create a module menu, you then need to choose where you want to place it. So we could actually even place a menu up here in the top. There's actually a location for a top menu. There's also a location for a footer menu. So we can create multiple menus and they can go in multiple module positions. You can put them in the sidebar as well, and they can be vertical menus. So there's a lot of different options for how to display different kinds of modules. So the next thing we're going to do is create a Contact Us page. So this is going to be a separate page from the home page, and we're actually going to create a second menu link for that. So it'll be home, and then we'll put a Contact Us page next to it. So if we go to the back end, first we have to actually create the content for this. And so to do that, Joomla actually has built in a contacts system. So if you go to the contacts, there's categories and there's contacts. We're going to create a contact. Now that we're here, let's create a contact real quick. Click New. Enter some information. You only really have to enter the name there. Then we'll go over to contact details and enter some contact details. So I entered those details there. He's a CEO. His email. You don't have to enter all this information, but I went ahead and did. And we're going to hit Save and Close. And we've created a contact. Now let's see how easy it is to use this contact to create a contact page. So what we're talking about is creating another link. So what we'll do is go to the menu manager, click on the main menu because that's the menu that is showing right now on our website, and we're going to click New, and we're going to select the type, and we're going to have to actually pick from the contacts link here. And we're going to do a single contact. We haven't created categories. You can actually link to categories of contacts, but we're just going to link to the single contact. We've done that. It's going to give you the option then to choose the contact. And we're going to give that a title. So I gave it the title Contact Us with the alias Contact-Us. And I'm going to save and close that. And we're going to click on the home page here. And we have a Contact Us button, and that will take us to a separate page with Dave Smith. In this particular template, you can actually see that it's built in tabs. So there's the Contact tab, and then there's the Contact form. And here's where the user can enter the information, and the email will actually be sent to the email address that we entered in when we created the contact. So next up, we're going to create the About Us page. To do that, go to the back end again. And what we need to do is create content for the About Us page. To do that, let's go to the Content menu here. And first we're going to rename the category that comes pre-installed into Joomla. So the main category that they have installed is called Uncategorized. Let's go ahead and rename that real quick. I renamed that to the name of the website. And we'll go ahead and save and close that. And then what we need to do is actually create the article. So you can click on that here. Or actually, since we're already in the content system, you can click on articles over here as well. Click New. We're going to enter some information in here, the title and the actual content, and then we'll save it. So now that we've created an article for the About Us page, all we need to do is link to that article. So if you go to Menu Manager, click on Main Menu, we're going to create a new menu item. And that one's going to link to that single article. So click the Articles section, click Single Article, choose the article we just made, About Us, and then give it a name. I named it About Us, gave it an alias of About Us, and I'll save and close that. Go to the front page here, and reload this, and we have an About Us page. There you see it. So now that we've created a menu over here, we're going to upload our logo into the content system into Joomla so that we can display it in this left module position, which is displayed right there. So to do that, we first have to upload the photo, and Joomla has a media manager, so you can actually do that right within Joomla if you want to. First thing we're going to do is create a new category. I decided to call that category Homepage, so I'll create that folder. And inside the Homepage folder, I'm going to upload my logo. Let's go to the Upload button, choose a file, find my logo, open, and upload. Now that the logo has been uploaded, what we need to do is create a module that's going to sit in the logo position. So if you look here, the logo position is there on the left, on the top. So what we're going to do is go to Extensions, Module Manager. We're going to create a new module, and it's going to be a custom HTML module. So we can just add the code for that image that we've uploaded. Click that. I'm going to give it a title, and then the position. Remember, that's logo. Let's enter those in. And what you'll notice is once you start typing in here, it'll actually find the quickest matches to that. So it's going to be logo. We're going to go into custom output, and this is where we're going to put that logo. So if we go here to the image upload, click home page, click our logo and insert that, it put our logo there. Let's go ahead and save and close that and see what that looks like on the front end. Okay, so as you can see, it's not really in place very well. So let's take a look at that code. I have a pretty good idea of why it uploaded the logo like that. And so if we go back to the back end of Joomla, then go to System and then Global Configuration. Within the global configuration of Joomla, it actually has a default editor. And that was the editor that we saw when we uploaded that image. So what I'm going to do is click Editor None and save that. And then I'm going to go back to that module and see what code is actually in that module after I saved it. Let's go back to the logo module, custom output, and as you can see, it put paragraph tabs around the image. So now let's see what happens when we go ahead and save and close that with just the image code there. Go back to the home page, click home, and there's our logo. It's working. So now that we've finished with that, let's add a login module. And we're going to try to do it in a couple different positions and see what we like the most. One of the positions we could try is on the sidebar, either the left or the right. Or we could even try putting it in the menu here. I'll show you how we can do that. So what we're going to do, go to the back end again, go to Extensions, Module Manager again, which is where we're at. And we're going to click New. And we're going to choose the login module. Joomla has a built-in login and member system, and so we're just going to use that. Click that. We're going to give it a title and then choose the position. The position we're going to use is sidebar B right here. Alright, so I called it account and I gave it the position sidebar B, and I'm going to go ahead and just save and close that. Go to the home page, click on home there, and here we have a login module. What we're going to do now is we're going to move our account module to the menu position. UThemes has created a system where if you add a module to the menu, what it does is it uses the name as the actual menu title, and then you can hover over it and see your module actually drop down. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is actually really simple. All we have to do is go back to our module, our account module, and we're just going to place that in the menu position. So back to position again, type in menu. It's right there. Save and close that. If we go back to the home page, we're going to see that the account module now goes into the menu. And it's a drop down, so it doesn't take up as much room. Now let's create a search box to the right of our menu here. If you remember in our layout, there's a search box. It's just to the right of it. So what we need to do is create another module. So go back to your module manager, click New, go down to the search module, click that. Again, we need to give it a title and the position, which is search. And once we've done that, once again, we can just save and close. Go back to the home page, reload that. Now there's a search box. Now that we've created ourselves a nice menu bar with a logo, we're going to work our way down and create ourselves an entire home page. So the first thing we're going to do is work with the top A position, and this is going to be our intro to our website to kind of introduce what we do. So if we go back to the module manager again, click on New, we're going to do a custom HTML module, so we can put whatever we want in there. So we need to give it a title and give it the top A position. So I went ahead and did that. And then we're going to go into the custom output area and we're going to put our content in here. So what I've done is I've added some content. I put for a header, we're the best at what we do, whatever that is. And next I put a little paragraph area where I just entered some text. And the next part down I'm putting a call to action button. So I put the ahref code in there. And we're going to find a class for this button that's going to correlate to the template, because this template already has built-in classes. So I'm going to show you how to find that. So UThemes has a built-in class system, and the way to find that is if we go to features in their template here, go to ULKit. This is their own system of classes that you can use in their websites. And so this specific template has some different buttons we can use. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try one of these large buttons here. So because I'm using Chrome, I'm just going to right click that, inspect that element, and then go down to the code here in the bottom and check that out. And so this button class, UK button large, that's going to be the class that I'm going to use for the button. So I'm actually going to copy that, go back to front page here, enter that in, and we need to enter some text for that. So I made this button to say learn more. And now what I want to do is actually make it so the content in the header is actually going to be centered. So I'm going to place this in a div and center it. So what I did here is I added a div and I added a style to it. And the style equals, oops, I accidentally added a little code in there that I didn't need. The style is just to align the center, or align the text to the center. So there's the opening and there's the closing for that, and here's everything in between, all the content. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's see what that looks like on the home page. There we go. As you can see, we have our header, we have the text, and we have a learn more button that we've placed. The only problem now is I actually have the introduction up in here, and what that is that's the name of the module. So if I go back to the module and hide the title and save it again, it's going to hide the title there. The next thing we're going to do is get rid of this home title right here. And this is actually part of the content area. And so if we go to the template here, we can actually see that every single one of these positions is actually a module position, except for one, and that's the content area. Another name for this is actually the system output. And so you can actually disable the system output in the template for specific pages. So we're going to do that for the home page. So when we disable this, we want to disable this only for the home page, because the problem is that if we disable this throughout the whole website, and if we went to a page, for instance, like Contact Us, this is actually, this part right here, is actually part of the system output. And so we can't disable it on every single page, or else nothing will show on all the other pages except for the modules that we've created. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Extensions, Template Manager, click on the Lava template, and once we're in here, we're looking at the UThemes Template Manager for Lava. You need to go to this Layout section here, and we're going to create a new layout. We're going to call it Homepage. So I went ahead and called that Homepage, click OK, and now we have a new layout called Homepage. So for the homepage, what we need to do is we need to disable the system output, and so we can hide that. So now that we've clicked homepage, we're going to hide that. Now the other thing we have to do is we have to make it so the homepage is set to this layout. So what we're going to do, go to the bottom here, and there's an assignment menu here. So we're going to click home there, and now the homepage is set to not show the system output. So click Save. Go back to the home page, and there's no system output there. Also, if we go to the Contact Us page, you'll notice that it's still showing it. So that's good. Now something else you might have noticed is that the styling for the home page is now different from the rest of the website. And so if we go back to the template system and we look at the style for default, that's going to be all the rest of the pages. If we go to home page, we can see that it's chosen the blue here. So let's go ahead and choose default, save that. When we go back to the home page and reload it, we have that same design back that we had before. Now that we've created ourselves a nice little header area, let's create some more content for our website to explain better what we do. And so what we're going to do is create some modules to go underneath this. We're going to do 3 modules in a row. We're going to call it Quality, Service, and Care. What we're going to do is go to Extensions, to Module Manager, and we're going to create a new module. And it's going to be a custom HTML one again. Once we're here, we're going to give it a name. We were calling this one Quality. We're going to give it a position, which is going to be the top A or the top B position. So I gave it that position. Now let's go ahead and add some content to it. So go to Custom Output, add some content, and go ahead and save and close that. Go to the home page. We have a new module right there, the top B position. Now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this one over a couple times. So I'm going to duplicate that. And again, I'm going to duplicate it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and really quickly rename these. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in the front end of the website. So I went ahead and renamed them to Quality, Service, and Care. If you go to the home page again, reload that. We have 3 modules in a row because those modules are lined up in the top B position. What I'm going to go ahead and do is create 2 more modules right here, right now, called Connect With Us and Contact Us. And I'm going to put the notes in the bottom underneath the video so you can see how I did that. So I went ahead and created these 2 modules, Connect With Us and Contact Us. Now what we're going to do with these modules is see what we can do to change the styling. So to do that, UThemes has a built-in styling system that's built into the template. So if you go to Extensions, Template Manager, pick the ULava template. Once we're here, we actually need to choose Modules. And here's where you can change all the settings for each module. You can see all of them that we've created here. So if we go to Connect, I'm going to change the style to secondary. Same thing with Contact Us. And there's other things you can change too. You can actually add module or icons to each module. There's a lot to choose from. You can add badges, and as you can see here, this is what an icon looks like. This is a badge, and you can display it on different screen sizes as well, so you can make it disappear as the screen gets smaller or have it appear when the screen gets smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and save this to secondary, the style secondary. Look at the home page again, and this is what it looks like. Now, one oversight it looks like UTheme did is with the H1 tag inside the secondary module. Looks like they didn't change the color of it. So we're going to go ahead and change that manually. And I will also put that in the notes as well. Alright, so now that we've fixed these 2 modules so you can actually see the headers, we're going to create one more module, and that's going to be the footer. So we're going to go up to the module section again. So here we are in the module section. Click New. We're actually going to search for footer. Click on footer. I'm going to name it footer. So I've named that. We're going to hide the title because we don't actually want it to say footer. Choose the footer position. And we're going to go ahead and save and close that. And all that does is adds the footer to our website with all the copyright information that we want. If we'd like to, we can actually remove the Powered by Warp theme framework. And to do that, you actually just go into the template and find the ULava template. And once we're here, we're going to go to the settings section and we're going to click to hide the warp branding. Save that. And then on the home page, we have our footer without the warp branding there anymore. If you wanted to put a footer menu, you'd actually create a new menu with links, and you'd put that in the footer position, and that would put that menu right here above that. So there it is. There's a home page for your Joomla website. Alright, for my last trick, what I'm going to do is show you the problem with our website and how to fix it. Is if we go to the Contact Us page, let's just show you what happens. We can see that all the home page modules are on the Contact Us page. So there's a few of these we want here. We might want to keep the Connect With Us, Contact Us on every page, but we probably don't need these two, these modules up here. Just want to show those only on the home page. So to do that, we actually have to go to the modules section again, and with each module, we have to choose what pages we want those to show on. So let's look. We're going to get rid of this We're the Best of What We Do module and only show it on the home page. So that is the introduction module. We're going to go to menu assignment. We're going to choose only on the pages selected. Click those off. Now it's only for the home menu or the home link. Save that. And now click this again. That's not there anymore. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with quality, service, and care. And so the only things that will be showing on the other pages is just the system output and these footer modules here. Okay, so I went ahead and did that and made these to only show on the home page. So if we reload that, those are going to be gone. There's that page. Here's the About Us page. And there's our website. So one last thing I'm going to show you how to do is show you how to create a drop-down menu. We've created a drop-down module here. Let's create a menu where it has sub-menu links underneath it. So we're going to go back into the menu system again. Close out of this. Go to Menus. Go to the main menu. And all we have to do is create another link that is placed underneath any one of these links, and it'll create a drop-down to it. So create new. We're just going to create a dummy link here. So we're going to go to System Links and just do an external URL and put a link in there. So this URL is just going to link to the home page, and we need to put a title there. And I called it drop-down link. So now what we need to do is give it a parent. So if you click on this, we're going to click on, for instance, the home page. So we're going to give the home link a drop-down menu item back to the home. So go ahead and save and close that. And as you can see, there's a hierarchy now. There's the home link and there's the drop-down link underneath it. So if we go back home, we hover over home, you can see that drop-down link pops up underneath it. Click that, takes us home. Alright, so that concludes this series on how to build a Joomla website. Make sure you look at the notes to get the HTML codes that I used to create the modules and to get any other exclusive content. And if you haven't already and you like these videos, make sure you subscribe. Thanks a lot.